Today's kids are doing more of something than we ever did when we were kids. Want to know what it is? Stay tuned for the answer. I'm Short Trini. Let's talk about it. Hey people, welcome to another edition of Let's Talk About It. I'm Short Trini as usual. Wanted to welcome my talkers, and to all my new subscribers, welcome. As I said in my intro, I want to tell you something that kids are doing, this generation especially, it's doing more than the previous generation and our generation ever did. A lot of kids today are spending more time online for whatever reason. And before we start, I wanted to thank my goddaughter, she knows who she is, for suggesting this topic to me. And funny thing is that she's, 12 years old? And for her to come up with this topic or suggest this topic to me, I found interesting. Anyhow, a lot of kids are spending a lot more time online, and not just because of online learning, but for whatever reason, you see these kids on TikTok, you see them on Facebook, you see them on Instagram, and a lot of Snapchat. What's going on? Why is that? Do you guys think it could be harmful? Too much exposure online? When I was growing up, I think I brushed on this topic before. I grew up in a West Indian household. And I didn't have an email. I didn't know what email was until I really got into college. When we were exposed to it, it was fairly new to us, and we were late in the game. AOL had just come out. And my father was like, nah, y'all ain't gonna do that. Y'all ain't gonna do that for a while. Well, a while turned out to be 5 years. So again, as I mentioned before in one of my previous videos, I really didn't know what email was or how to send one until I was pretty much an older teen, 17, 18 years old. And then I was hooked. Man, I wanted to be online so bad because it was a new world for me, an escapism for me. And I didn't think anything was wrong with it. That was until I got older. And I noticed that my nieces, nephews, and some of my godchildren spent a lot of time online. And my friends' kids and their godchildren spent a lot of time online. And I began to wonder, what's going on? Is this harmful? So I looked up some facts or figures, and I just wanted to share them with you. Let me pull out my trusty computer. And I got this survey from a group called Common Sense Media. And this survey was taken in 2019. And it said that American youth between the ages of 8 to 18 found that 56% of those kids spent an average of 4 to 5 hours online. As a matter of fact, it went on to say that 69% of kids between the ages of 13 and 18 spent all day online aside from going to school. When they come home, they eat dinner, maybe they'll do a chore, and it's straight online they go. What's going on? There are a lot of people, a lot of professionals who will say to you that increased exposure online will cause social issues. In other words, kids will have a hard time socializing with other kids and interacting with other kids because they've created this other reality, that they think is a cool reality. And by no means am I saying that the internet is bad. I'm not saying that at all. Heck, I'm using the internet to run my channel. It's not bad. But what I am saying is that there should be a balance between internet and, for lack of a better word, reality. Could it be that there's a breakdown in the home? Could it be that we are too trusting with our children? In the sense that we give them a tablet and we think that they are responsible and can set and can know when it's time for them to turn it off? Can we give that responsibility as adults to our children? There are certain things that you can do to on this to limit your child's exposure. Do you guys know about the settings? The timers that they have. For example, you can set your timer or your child's tablet timer for an hour, and then after that it shuts off. You can also adjust the settings to limit what they see online. They won't be able, if you restrict certain channels, they won't be able to access those certain channels. Also, what my parents did for me and my brother as children, our main computer is in the kitchen. And in those days, we only had one computer. And so everything we did, we had to go through the kitchen into this little nook and do what we did. The benefit of that is one of my parents, my older brothers, were always coming in and out of that kitchen. So they were able to look over my shoulder to see what exactly my brother and I were doing. We also have to take into consideration more now that you've got a lot of predators out there. We had it when I was a kid too, but with the advent of chat rooms and things like Facebook and all those other social media apps I mentioned, it's quite easy to come up with an identity, make up a fake identity, and pose as a little kid. And these predators are preying on these children. So, having said all that, what do you guys think? Do you think kids are spending too much time online? What do you think the solution should be? What are you doing as parents? Those of you who are parents, those of you who have nieces, nephews, godchildren, grandchildren, what are you guys doing to protect your kids from the health dangers of being online, which, it's, they're out of touch with reality. They enjoy it so much they can't live without going on the internet. Their language is kind of limited. And what I've also found is a lot of kids, and adults too, have lost the ability to learn to write a proper sentence. Because online, you really don't have to write a proper sentence. You just have to get your thought across, and that's it. No commas, no punctuation, no grammar. So that's a drawback as well. There's also the mental aspect. Why are kids going back online? Why are kids spending so much time online? What's missing? Is there enough interaction with your children? Do they have the skills to interact with other kids? What is it? What could it be? Share your comments down below. Solutions, questions, thoughts. Because I would really like to know. The funny thing is, when I was a kid too, we all were kids. And when I was a kid, I couldn't get offline. I loved it. Now I really can't stand it. With the exception of this channel and a few other things, especially during this pandemic, getting in touch with my family abroad via Zoom, via Facebook, via FaceTime. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't spend as much time online. As a matter of fact, I've cut down a lot. I really cut down a lot on my online usage, except for those things. But again, what do you guys think? Leave me a comment. Give me your thoughts. Give me your view, good or bad. And as always, if you like the content, please like, share, subscribe, and also hit that notification bell so you'll always know when I come with a new video. All right? I usually post on Wednesdays. So by the time you see this video, I'll be working on the next one because this one will drop on Wednesday, hopefully. Until the next episode, let's talk about it. Peace.